I normally mark my birthday once in 10 years, and I normally have in-person events, and last year was a landmark when I clocked 50. And one thing I want to share with you that's going to very helpful today is I just want to speak to you from the heart, and this is being recorded. Even for many people that are not here, they're going to hear it, and it's going to change lives. I want you all to know one thing, and life is only meaningful when you have a purpose. Living without a purpose is living life that has no bearing, that has no meaning, that has no usefulness to now and eternity. So, and this is what I want to share with you is why this book and why this time. So what I want to share with you is why this book and why this time. Why this book? I want you to know that today is a date with destiny. Yes, it's a date with destiny. I believe this encounter you're going to have is going to shape your life. It's going to change your life. It's going to transform your life, because only transformed people can transform the world. You know, for a long time, you know, in my heart, I has this kind of driven with this passion. I'm driven with this. I mean, I'm so persuaded about what I'm going to share with you. And I joined the Maslow Leadership May 23 precisely, and 2020. And when I joined, one strong impression that I have from God is go and inspire people to live their dream, L-I-V-E. Because many people are living it, L-E-A-V-I-N-G. And that's what was fired into my spirit. In fact, at that time, I did a thumbnail and which says, "Are you living or living your dream?" But that's all I knew then. But I knew there's something more about this, because I'm a journey myself. And when I begin to get a handle of this and begin to just yield, and I begin to get a full picture that this is going to be a book. Listen, I've written, by the grace of God, 10 books now. Last year, when I celebrate my birthday, 3 new books came. And after last year to this time, 5 books have dropped. And I want to say to everyone, before the end of this year, I'm working on 4 more new books. Because I am called. It's my calling. Writing is my calling. And I want you to know that writing is a passion that I have. Someone said, if you want to be remembered, you either do something that is worth writing, or you write something that is worth reading. And that is the thing about life. So why this book, Live Life Big? I want to submit to you that many people are not living life big. Yesterday, there's a picture from the scripture that stood out to me. I'm preparing a message on the ATM Weekly. It's coming out tomorrow on Live Life Big. And that picture of Lazarus the beggar that was positioned at the gate of a rich man. The scripture said, this man lived in luxury every day. Now watch this. This man was living in luxury every day, which is God's will for every one of his children. It is the will of God. So living in luxury every day is God's will for us. To live in luxury means to live in abundance. Jesus came not just to die for our sins, say, I've come that you may have life and to have it more abundantly. That means to have that life to the fullest. Life as God intended. Lazarus never has life as God intended. The scripture said in Luke 16, 20-21, that he was desiring the crumbs of the rich man's table. And that is how many people are living today. They just want to get by. They just want to get by. They just want to get by. They just want to get by through life. And God did not want us to get by through life. Jesus said, I have come that you may have life and to have it more abundantly. Abundance life. Amplified Bible says, to have life to the full, that it overflows to others. Now, I want it to be clear that I don't write book to make sales. I write book to make change, to bring change in people's life. Of recent, I was in North Georgia for an event, and they say I should bring some of my books. That was last month, and I took some of my books. They bought 54 copies of the book, which was $810. So the question is, where did the money go? 9 medical students in 300 level in University of Ibadan, my alma mater, they were about to be prevented from writing their first professional exam. We sent that money to help those students so that they will not be kicked out from school. And we're able to give scholarship of 1.6 million in local currency. We even added another student in 200 level, making 10 students. 10 students benefited through one of our initiative, Tino Ade Leadership Academy. This is what Living Life Big is all about. Living Life Big, in that chapter, this book has 11 chapters. It is 147 pages. In one of the chapters, I highlighted that living life big is not about you, it's all about others. Living life big is all about significance. That rich man was living in luxury every day. But watch this. He wasn't living life big. Why? God gave him all the resources, but those resources were not used. It was just by himself. The same thing with the rich fool. The rich fool never live life big. You can only live life big whenever you use the resources that God has given to you, your life, your time, your talent, your skills, for the welfare and the well-being of humanity. This is why it's all about contribution. Living life big is all about making a contribution. Now, listen, I'm not against people celebrating their birthday. This is what I'm against. What are you celebrating? What are you celebrating? Now, if all you are celebrating on your birthday, oh, thank God I'm a year older, listen. It is a basement celebration. Celebration is all about contribution. Celebration is all about, I want to dare you. I don't know when your birthday is. As you move towards your birthday, begin to ask yourself a question. Am I living as a consumer or I'm living as a producer? You need to ask yourself that question. Listen, I wrote my first book year 2000. I still have that first book right here. It's like a small booklet. Year 2000, that was my first book. I can even count the pages like a booklet. It's like, it's a small book, like 55 pages. Now, the second book was in 2003. Both of these books came out when I was in medical school, in the clinical side of the medical school. But watch this. For 20 years, I never wrote a book. So the question is, what happened for 20 years? I was in my comfort zone. I wasn't living life big. And deep down within me, I'm not, even though I'm still writing, doing some things, but I knew there's something I'm supposed to produce. I love watching a good Christian movie. Anytime I'm watching a good Christian movie, the Lord will ask me, you are watching someone else's production. When are you going to produce something for other people to enjoy. So last year, I began to learn about 4 zones of life. I knew it before. I began to think about it. So there are 4 life zones. The first one is the coasting zone. The second one is the comfort zone. The third zone is the challenge zone. And the fourth zone is the creative zone. Now, in the coasting zone, it's a zone where you do less than what you normally do. That's what that zone is all about. It's a zone where you do less than what you normally do. The second zone, the comfort zone, is a zone where you do the same thing, nothing new. It's just the same thing. That's why Robin Sharma said, you can live 75 times the same year, the same way, and call it a life. It is not the years in our life that count. It is the life in the years. I want you to know, it's not the years in our life that count. It is the life in the years. So when somebody is 50, that doesn't mean that doesn't equate the life. That's why somebody can live just for few years, but the life is so huge. Jesus lived for like 33 years, and the impact is still here. And this is what we are talking about. It's not the years in your life, but it is the life in your years. The life content. Someone might be 102, but the life content is not 102. And this is why we need to think like this. So when you get to your challenge zone is when you begin to do what you've never done before. You begin to attempt what you've never done before. You begin to do something new. The creative zone is when you begin to think what you've never thought before. That's the creative zone. You started thinking what you've never thought about before. So last year, I realized that I have been living in my comfort zone. And I said, no, I don't want to do that. And I make a statement. I make a public commitment, and I begin to say everywhere, I'm bringing out 10 books. That was last year. Because as I was approaching the age of 50, I realized that I can't live the same way I have lived the past 20 years without any book bring out to the world. Someone just told me of recent that you are churning out books like babies. That's it. Because writing books is like giving birth to a baby. It's tough. My editor is right here, Mr. Adewale Shosoyan, that live in Buffalo, New York. He can tell you it's work. It's real work for everyone on the team. The one writing the book and the one editing the book is real work. And I want to commend my editor, Mr. Adewale Shosoyan. He's really been, the way he does my book. I have 2 editors. The second one is Dr. Daria Oshibumi. The way both of them work on the book, I tell you, they are the best. They do a thorough work. And this time around, we have to spend short time to make sure that the book comes out before today. And we made it. And also my publisher too. And Pastor Timi Tokpe. And she's just awesome. In fact, many people now are seeking him that, oh yeah, they want to work with her too. She's just phenomenal. She said, you trouble me. I said, yes, that's a good trouble. I'm giving you a good trouble because I said, this baby have to come out. I was on her neck. I said, this baby have to come out. And thank God the baby came out. The digital copy was released 2 days ago and the paperback came out yesterday. And people have started getting, in fact, Amazon has already alerted me about that. They have not given me the numbers yet, but they are just giving an alert to show that, yes, the book is doing great. And I want to say thank you to every one of you that have ordered the book and everyone that we still order the book. And I want you to know that when you support a book initiative, it's a lot. And that's why we call it book shower. Just imagine people coming around, anyone writing a book, because it's a big encouragement that makes the person to keep doing the work, because it's a hard work. So like I said, I don't want to live in my comfort zone again. I said, I'm going to live in my challenge zone. And that's why I make a commitment to write 10 books. But the creative zone is where you think beyond what you've done. So based on that commitment, by the grace of God, I was able to do the 2.0 last year of my first book. So I wrote this with 9 other medical students that are still in the system that had distinction in an anatomy. This one came out. And this year, when I went to Nigeria, we did the formal dedication. It was awesome. And I mean, it's and of recent, we gave 100 copies to students in the medical school and 200 level, just to help them with the academics. So these are the books that have come out. The Beautiful People, this is about relationship. You can get all of those on Amazon. And this one was in Effective Networking. So those are the books that have come out since last year. And this one, 4 Keys for Effective Leadership. I'll be speaking about this one in a conference next week in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, and also in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, in another state conference. And this one was the 2.0 of the second book that I wrote. For a long time, people have been asking, but this, until Live Life Big come, this is what has been doing so well on Amazon. People just like it, understanding your gift and all that 2.0. And this was the recent before the new baby came. The new baby is Live Life Big. So this is the area code. That was a book that Dr. John Maxwell was holding that went so viral that many people were just buying too. Now, talking about why this book, like I said, why this book? Now, this book, Live Life Big, like I said, it's 11-chapter book. It's a book that gives people the practical blueprints to stop living their dream and start living, L-I-V-I-N-G, their dream, so that they can live life big. And the book is so unique. One of the things about this book that is unique about this book is this. There's a friend of mine, we went to medical school together, and Dr. Ayo, we are colleagues, and Dr. Ayo and this friend, his name is David Tolu Oridota. He will have been here. He lives in Kansas, US. He's a software engineer. He will have been here today, but he's presently in a conference. He couldn't make it. So I have the permission to share his story, which was very, very remarkable. It was when I was reading Put Your Dream to Test by Dr. John Maxwell, that book really inspired me. And I began to wonder about, because when we started medical school together, we went through the basic medical science, and when we were about to get to the preclinical, started doing anatomy, biochemistry. I just found that Tolu wasn't coming to class, and I began to ask questions: where is he? Where is he? Where is he? And at the point, we didn't even see him again. So when I came to the US and started reading that book, Put Your Dream to Test, I was just wondering what could have happened to him that I'm really interested. Because then his passion was music, and the father wanted to be a medical doctor. And he didn't want to do medicine. So he suspended his exam, and we didn't see him. So I was curious. So in my searching for David Tolu Oridota, in my searching for him, I was able to get his contact. We reconnected. I introduced myself. Yeah, he was happy. He still remember me very well. So when this book project came, I shared it with him. I Zoomed with him. I said, Tolu, I want to share your story in this. And when he told me, and we're able to put the story in the book, I think it's in chapter 3, 2 or 3. Yeah, I think it's in chapter 3. The story is so inspiring. It was his dream that helped him. At the point, the father agreed for him to go and do computer engineering. But the problem was, after he started, the father said, oh, sorry, son, I can't finance your education no more. I'm leaving Saudi Arabia. I'm coming back to Nigeria. This is the last 5,000 that I have. You have to find your way. Wow, it was challenging. He realized that if he dropped this 5,000, that would be the end. And he's still starting up. he's still a freshman. He's still in 100 level. How can he be able to finish this 4 years bachelor's degree with 5,000? So what he did is, because he has a passion for music, and that is where his dream kicked in. So he bought, with that money, he bought a Korg, like a piano, and he started sequencing music, workstation, and started meeting the need of churches that cannot afford to pay a whole orchestra, a whole band, a whole team. And he started being a one-man team that was in hot demand. And that led him to getting a $500,000 grant from a military base that enabled him to use that money to finish not just his bachelor's, but also his master's. That story was and that's why, and also the book is full of personal stories. So live life big is a must for everyone. It's not for few. Like I said, Lazarus, all he desires was just the crumbs. I want to fuel your desire to live life big. One of the reasons why many people are not living life big is they make excuses for what is not working in their life. They make an excuse for this is not enough and all that. Now, I want to share something with you. I have what I call daily reflections. Now, one of my daily reflections that I want to share with you is some things I posted some years ago just in daily reflections. The first one is from a man called Raphael Vider. This is what he said. He said, "It is not about chasing your dream to reach them. It is not about chasing your dream to reach them." Watch this. "But about growing until they are at your fingertips." So many of us think that, when we have a dream, we have to chase that dream to reach it. No, that's not it. In this book, Live Your Dream, I shared the practical blueprint. And the blueprint is DREAM. That's the acronym. I'm graced by God for acronyms. I found this gift way back when I was in medical school, and I started in a mnemonic community that helped to simplify learning, that helped a lot of people to pass their exams. So now, this practical blueprint is called DREAM. The D is what we call the dream factor. The R is the resilience factor. The E is embrace teamwork factor. And the A is accountability factor. And the M is mentorship factor. Now, let me just give you just like a handle on it. Now, the dream factor is everything starts with a dream. Now, another word for dream is a vision. If you're a person of faith, one of the books that I'm reading presently now that is helping me now is called Visioneering. I want to recommend the book to everybody by Andy Stanley. It's a good book on vision. It's like engineering. Yeah. I call Coach Remy the human engineer. She used to be an electrical engineer. So I call her now. She's a human engineer. She's doing human engineering. And in this book, it said that a vision is a preferred feature. Something that could be and should be. So like I said, when you talk about dream also means vision. But I want to give you a very simple definition from my mentor, Dr. John Maswell. He said, a dream is an inspiring picture of the future that empowers your will, your emotion, and mind, enabling you to do everything you can to achieve it. And that is what a dream is. A dream is a seed of destiny. Like I said, Call it a vision. It's a picture of a preferred future. And that's what happened to Martin Luther King Jr. I have a dream. A dream is what is not that could be and should be. It's what is not yet that could be and should be. For instance, I have a dream of global transformation. I have a dream to see people's life transform. I have a dream to see people reaching out for more. That's why we have the Made for More Global Leadership Conference. We started as something for women in leadership without realizing that, no, everybody are made for more, both men and women. So it's now Made for More Global Leadership Conference, and we have done 3. The next one is in March, and it's already live. People are already registering. Now watch this. I said the blueprint is DREAM. DREAM. So that means after having dream, the second thing I want you to get is this. You need the resilience factor. Why? In the course of living your dream, you are going to, life will throw you so many things, so many challenges. Life will throw you curveball. I want to consider living your dream is like someone playing soccer, taking the soccer ball from one end to the other to go and score a goal. So you will be faced with so many obstacles, so many challenges on the way. That is why you need the second factor called the resilience factor. Resilience is the ability to bounce back when you are being knocked down. That's what resilience is all about. I mean, if you watch American football, you see those guys carrying the ball, they are being hit so hard. You see them bounce back, they come back again, because their goal is to make a touchdown, is to reach the end goal, to reach the end post. So the resilience factor is so important. Now, let me give you what we call the roadmap to resilience. The acronym is PURPOSE. To be resilient, because you need that resilience. Someone said, when thrown against the wall, you are either an egg or a tennis ball. If you're an egg, that will be the end of you. But when you are a tennis ball, you are going to bounce back, because setback itself is a setup for a comeback. Not just for a comeback, but for a strong comeback. So resilience is key. So, but you have to be resilient on purpose. So this is how to be resilient using the PURPOSE acronym. The P, you have to picture your possibilities. That is where it belongs. You have to picture your possibilities. That's what Stephen Covey said in his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. He said, begin with the end in mind. So you have to picture your possibilities. Picture what is possible. Don't focus on what is not possible. Picture your possibilities. That's the P. The second one is you. You have to use failure or mistake as a learning tool. That means in the quest of living your dream, you will fail. I told you my first exam in medical school, I failed it. And I'm not the only one. I have some colleagues here too that also went through that challenges. But the thing is, after that failure, the word fail is this. It's an acronym. FAIL is first attempt in learning. First attempt in learning. I learned something. I remember some people after they failed, because they have never failed before. They quitted. Maybe God did not want them to be a doctor. They changed course. They went. I have a friend that that was in that situation. He changed course. He went to do sociology. Guess what? This guy is living in America now. As a nurse, he abandoned his dream because of just challenges. Resilient people don't give up their dream. So that's why you have to use failure or mistake as a learning tool. It is not failure when you learn from it. It is only failure when you don't learn from it. So failure is an opportunity to learn and to begin more intelligently. And that's what I did. And that's why I was able to write that book. So that's the resilience factor. So you have to use failure, any failure that you face on the way, as a learning tool. Failure or mistakes as a learning tool. The next one is R. The R is reach out for support. If you want to be resilient on purpose, reach out for support. For instance, in doing this launch team now, I have to reach out for support. I reach out to Dr. I say, Dr. I, listen, we need to do a launch team. I should begin to put the ideas together. For instance, today I reach out to Dr. Kwemi. Dr. Kwemi, listen, because you can, if you want to do something big, you can't do it alone. Reach out for support. One of the key to being resilient is your support system. Your support system. Even plants have a support system, xylem and phloem. So we need a support system. Human beings are made as a community. Don't die in isolation. So reach out for support. That helps you to be resilient. So we talk about the P, the U, and the R. The next one is P. The next P is put things in the right perspective. You have to put things in the right perspective. Now, what does that mean? You know, at times when in the course of living your dream, when challenges come, there's a possibility of making things being overblown, but you have to put it in the right possibilities. Put things in the right perspective. Put things in the right perspective. Don't allow emotion to hype things up. It's like a man that, I think he was having challenges in his business, and he came to his pastor. He said, Pastor, nothing is working. Can you imagine? Because of one or two challenges. And the pastor said, come on, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down. Let me ask you a question. Can you see me now? He said, yes. Then the pastor said, oh, thank God the eyes is working. And I said, can you smell very well? Can you hear some smell around? Say yes. He said, oh, the nose is. The pastor began to list the thing that is working. At the end of the day, the man just shouted, Pastor, everything is working. He said, that was it. So we have to put things in the right perspective. Perspective is everything in life. That's why we all have three gaps. There are three gaps in life: the knowledge gap, the experience gap, and the perspective gap. So we fill up this perspective gap when we hear other people's viewpoint. That's why I read books every day. I'm learning from 9 authors every day. Why? I'm filling up my perspective. I'm learning. I used to be lazy before. I would hold books for many days, weeks, without reading it, until God used my Baba to wake me up out of that slumber of laziness to now embrace responsibility of starting with 1 book, then 2, 3, is now 9 per day. But the thing I want to let you know is you have to pick, you have to put things in the right perspective. And we get perspective from others that are also growing around us. Now, the next one is, I said P, U, R. So the first one is the first one is you have to picture what is your possibilities. Then second one is use failure or mistake as a learning tool. R, you have to reach out to support. Then the P, put things in the right perspective. Then the next one is O, operate with optimism. Winston Churchill said, the optimist sees opportunity in every difficulty, but the pessimist sees difficulty in every opportunity. So you have to operate. You have to be optimistic. Simon Sinek, author and speaker, always call himself an optimist. You have to be optimistic. You can't be optimistic about life and live your dream. You have to operate with optimism. And the next one is X. You have to serve others. One key to being resilient that many people are yet to realize is serving others. In the course of living your dream, even in the course of your challenges, Job 42:10, he said, the Lord turned the captivity of Job when he prayed for his friends. It was when Job was serving others that his own captivity was turned around. Many times when we go through life challenges, we trend to self-absorb. The opposite of serving others is self-absorption. They asked Dr. Carl Menninger, a renowned American psychiatrist, they said, what is the cure of depression? He said, anytime you are depressed, he said, get out of the house and go to the street, encourage 3 or 4 people. By the time you get back, you'll be fine. That was serving others. When you serve others, you are focusing on others, and that's when you experience it. There's a therapeutic size of service that many are yet to discover. And that's the beauty of it. So service is one of the key to resilience. Serving others genuinely. You are not serving them for what you will get, but you are serving them out of a pure motive. And the last component of the roadmap to resilience is E, embrace joy. To be resilient, you have to embrace joy. Hebrews 12:2 says about Jesus, who for the joy set before him. I remember then when I have to go through that exam again to write my exam, I was embracing joy. I was embracing joy. Embracing joy from the lens of gratitude. I was grateful for a second chance to still be able to do the exam again. What if I have only one chance? That joy did not allow me to see anything but victory. Who for the joy set before him? Jesus, and it was joy help you to endure. Joy is the fuel for endurance. So you have to embrace joy. So that is how to be resilient of purpose. I'm giving you what is in the book. Yeah. Okay, because you came today, I need to give it to you. Okay. Now, we talked about the dream factor, the resilience factor. Then the E is the embrace teamwork. You need a teamwork. Without teamwork, the dream will not work. Teamwork makes dream work. Last year, I had a vision of the LAM global community. I'm privileged today to work with 21 dynamic leaders all around the world. Some of them are here today, like Dr. Brian, Dr. Ayo, Coach Remy, Dr. Payemi, and just doing life big. We have and Dr. and Olabisi Fatuga. I have two Dr. V in my life, so I'm confusing them now. Dr. Olabisi Oshikolu and Dr. Luabumi Fatugashe. And we're just doing life big. We're doing life big together. And so many of them, we have Coach Munte. We have so many of them in this community. So many of them. And we have Coach Podicom. I mean, so many of them. Dr. Kwayemi, so many of them. And also my wife. She's been a real support system. I was asking her this morning. I said, what does it take to live with me? He said, that's another day. That's another day stuff. Because of what we have to deal with today, we have a lot of things today. Because she's the only one that knows the story behind the glory. So embrace teamwork. Teamwork is key. I shared a lot about that, about the leaders of the LAM global community, and also dedicated allies. There's so many dedicated allies, like my editors, other people that we collaborate together for all this global project. So embrace teamwork is very important. If you want to climb a little hill, you don't need a team. All you need is a pair of sneakers. But if you want to climb the Mount Everest, the law of Mount Everest, which is one of the 17 undisputable law of teamwork, says, as the challenges escalate, the need for teamwork elevates. That's why the word team means together, everyone achieve more. So you need a team. So if you want to live life big, if you want to live your dream and live life big, you need a team. You can't do it alone. So, and I shared in the book how to build a team. I've been in team building for more than 25 years, so I know how to build a team by the grace of God. So I shared it. So get the book. You will learn how to build a team. I will still be giving out more content on that. Now, the next one is accountability partnership factor. So apart from having a team is, of course, a team is a larger group, but you need small units. You need accountability partnership factor. Accountability partnership factor is when you have, 2 or 3 people that are holding you accountable for your growth. For instance, I have accountability partnership factor in my reading. I have a group I report to. This morning, yesterday, I finished the book. I just reported that this is the book I'm currently reading. I just finished this book. I replaced it with another book. That's it. And that, when you have an accountability partnership factor, it helps you, because when you don't account, you don't amount. So accountability is the key to profitability. So you need someone you can account to. Even for my book writing now, we just started an authors forum. I remember in the last authors forum, that was September, that we had this one. In the edition of the authors forum that we have in August, I told them that by the next authors forum, I will have finished this book, Live Life Big. Guess what? It was a lot of work. But because I made that commitment, before we had the meeting this September, I finished the book. All that was left is the epilogue. I remember a night before the September meeting, I was working hard till 12 midnight. I told them how, and because of that accountability partners, it pushes me. That is the power of accountability factor. And I see a lot of people benefit from that. You can find someone. If you want to go far in life, you need people of shared values, not that doesn't share your value. So that is very important. Quickly, the last one is the mentorship factor. The mentorship factor. The mentorship factor is very important. Ben Johnson, the writer, said, "He that has himself for a mentor has a fool for a mentor." Mentors delivers us from tormentors. You need mentorship. For instance, I'm part of the Maswell leadership. And being part of the Maswell leadership, Papa John Maswell is the main person, but there are also other mentors like Coach Valerie Burton, that help with coaching. Chris Robinson, the executive vice president, that help with business building. Marco, that help with leadership. We have Roddy Gilbert, that help with communication. And we also have one of my mentors, Miss Elizabeth McCormick. In fact, I'm writing a book on mentorship right now, my 11th book. I've started working on it, titled Elizabeth. As a tribute to her, she has taught me a lot of sense. The last year she came to Philadelphia, I watched her spoke for 2 hours, how she was able to capture and hold the attention of the audience. And I sat her down. I began to ask her a question, even how to use ChatGPT. She taught me how to. I said, wow. And that has changed my life. And that's why I'm dedicating a book to her. This book, Live Life Big, is dedicated to 2 of my great mentors, Dr. Miles Monroe and Dr. David Edokwe. And I've been privileged to have met both of them. I met Dr. Miles Monroe before he died one day in 2003. And it's after a conference in Ibadan where I used to live. I was looking for a friend of mine. And I just saw him enter this car, and I just met him. We shook hands. Oh, it's as if I shouldn't wash my hand that day, but you have to take it. You have to take your bath the second day. That encounter did something to my life. I said, wow. I wasn't even looking for him. I was looking for a friend. I just saw him. Wow. I saw him enter the car. I just grabbed him, and it was great. It was awesome. And Dr. Dave Edokwe, you will be 70 in the next 6 days. I've been privileged to have a one-on-one encounter with him. Now, these are the people that I dedicated this book to, because they are people living life big. So this is the blueprint of Live Life Big. Now, why this time? I want to tell you something. It's not a coincidence that you are here today, or it's not a coincidence that you will be privileged to be watching this. I want to challenge you. Why live life small when you can live life big? It's your life. God has given you the permission to live life big. Where is that permission? John 10:10, I've come that you may have life and to have it more abundantly. I've given you this blueprint because, and the beauty of this book is this. This book, at the end of the book, there are practical application questions, thought-provoking questions that help you to be able to maximize the experience of each chapter. It's so practical. It's so practical. It's something and that is full of self-activity for your sure productivity. I guarantee you this book is going to change your life. I've put in so much in this book. And please don't just buy this book for yourself. Buy this book for others. There are people that you know that they are not living life big. Buy this book and send it to them. When they read the book, something is going to happen to them and they're going to remember you for life. I want to challenge everyone. I can say and say the more. As I close, let me just rephrase this one like I talk about this quote and from Raphael Videy that said, "It is not about chasing your dreams to reach them, but about growing until they are at your fingertips." Now, I haven't given you the practical blueprint. It's not about chasing your dream. I want you to subscribe to your personal growth. Last year, something happened to me because for a while, I told myself a lie that I can read and write at the same time. Because I'm writing books, I have a goal to write 10 books. And I stopped reading my regular reading. And I was doing that for a while, even though I still reflect, go over something I've done before. But it's not like reading something fresh materials. And I wasn't happy until towards the November time. And I just told myself the truth that I can read and write. I had a word from one of my coach, Valerie Button. Valerie Button said, the only way to get unstuck is to tell yourself the truth. I said, wow. So lies is what make people get stuck. I was telling myself a lie. I can't read and write at the same time. That reading will take my time. So I have to make some adjustment. There's some things I like to do. I like to add value to people, share some things every day. I stopped doing that. I now converted that. Though I still share things with people, but instead of doing it every day, the frequency, I reduced that frequency. I said I can still share maybe twice a week. I reduced that. I converted time to reading time. Now I'm reading 9 books every day. And because of that, the quality of the content in my books has gone up. Even my editor, can say that. My editor is here today. I'm going to give him 3 minutes after this for him to just say something about the work we have done together. But don't forget what this quote says. Raphael Videy said, "It is not about chasing your dreams to reach them." So you don't chase your dream to reach them. You will never reach your dream if you keep chasing them. But this is how you can reach your dream. But about growing until they are at your fingertips. So through personal growth, you can grow to reach your dream till your dream is within. I want to tell you today that your dream is within reach, but you have to grow to reach it. So let me give you this. This is not in the book. This is an extra. This is a bonus. So how do you reach your dream? How do you grow to reach your dream? To reach your dream so that your dream will be at your fingertips. This is how you do it. I want to give you 6 keys to personal growth that will help you to grow so that your dream will be at your fingertips. Number 1, make a commitment to personal growth. You have to make a commitment to personal growth. Now, a commitment is not something you are interested in. A commitment is something you are invested in. So please, I want you to get the difference. I'm using some words now. A commitment is not just something that you are interested in. A commitment is something that you are invested in. Dr. Okwayemi, get that quotable quote down. There's a group that always wants quotable quote. I didn't think about that before. So that's it. So that's my definition of commitment. A commitment is not something you are interested in. If all you are doing is interested, you won't do it. It's something you are invested in. There must be an investment of your time, of your life into it. So make a personal commitment to your personal growth. Number 2, make your commitment public. Whenever a commitment is not public, it is not shared. An unshared commitment is a weak commitment. Make it public. When I want to break free from laziness in reading, I made a commitment to read a book, 15 laws, 15 invaluable laws of growth. To read that book within 15 days, because it's 15 chapters. So what did I do? I told my wife at home that, please hold me accountable for reading 1 chapter per day. Then I was working in Salvation Army. I told a co-worker of mine then, I said, please hold me accountable. So that means I have someone at work to ask me, did you finish yesterday's chapter? I have someone at home. So and because of that, no excuse, I finished that book within 15 days. If I didn't even know that I'll be laid off from Salvation Army, I didn't know I'll be laid off. It was the 14th day I was reading the law of expansion. My mind is already expanded. And that was how I was able to get over that layoff. They didn't tell me, it was that day I got to know. I was able to, because that book is, I'll talk about that book, is one of the greatest books I recommend to you. 15 Invaluable by Dr. John Maxwell. That book changed my life. Boom. It was after I read that book that I started the Thinker's Island, sharing quote. I mean, that book was so phenomenal. And the last one, 15, was the law of contribution. So I was already on 40. So because I make it public, I was able to finish it. So make it public. Last year, I was telling people I want to do 10 books this year. I was able to do 5 books, but it's better than not doing any book for 20 years. So make it public. So the third thing you want to do about commitment to your personal growth is be specific about where you want to grow. You have to be specific. Don't just keep reading just any book that comes your way. No, you have to be specific. Now, let me give you some to start with. 5, specificity. The acronym is CLEAR. C-L-E-A-R. C, communication. L, leadership. E, equipping, that means growing others. A, attitude. And R, relationship. Those are the 5 things that Dr. John Maxwell identified that is responsible for real success in successful people. So those 5 areas. Make a commitment to grow in your communication, in your leadership, equipping them, ability to grow others. That's equipping. You want to grow others too. Because if growth stops with you, that's addition. But if it goes beyond you, that's multiplication. So make a commitment to grow, that's equipping. Then A, in your attitude. And then relationship. Then you can add 2 more if you're a person of faith. I add 2 more, faith and finance. So that's 7 areas. So be clear. So that's clear. So those are the areas. So the kind of book I read are based on those 7 things. So number 4, make a commitment to grow a minimum of 1 hour per day. So you have to commit 1 hour per day. I do a minimum of 2 hours per day. True confession, because of what I have to deal with. Yesterday, I went to a training. I'm still holding 2 hours of my yesterday's growth. I have to cancel a mastermind this morning, 8 a.m. to accommodate my time. So, but today I've already I have a mastermind 3 to 4:30. Once I'm done with that, I know people will be calling me for birthday. I'm going to shut down my phone between 5 to 7 p.m. The 2 hours debt of yesterday, I'm going to pay it so that I can pay the one of today later tonight. So it's every day that ends up with day. I don't say, oh, well, I didn't explain it that, because it's my birthday. No, because when you slack one day, it will spread to other days. It's a daily commitment. It's a daily thing. So make a commitment about 1 hour dedicated to your personal growth. Then number 5, make a commitment of 1 hour per week to evaluate your growth. To evaluate how you are growing. Just to go over, okay, let me see, in the past 1 week, how have I grown? So make a commitment for 1 hour weekly of evaluation. The last one is share your growth with other people that are excited about your growth. Don't share with just anybody. Some people, they are not excited about your growth. For instance, now, this book I'm bringing out, some people, when they say, oh, is it the only one? He's always writing books. Listen, don't take it personal. They are not reacting against you. Your living your dream is reminding them that they are not living theirs. So the anger must not be taken personal. But when we live our dream, we give other people to live their dream. So this is how to keep your dream within your reach. You don't chase your dream. You grow until your dream is at your fingertips. My name is Dr. Mike, and I approve this message.